Hello there, this is Battleborn again. In today's video, I'm going to talk about why narcissistic abuse is such an effective form of abuse. When this abuse is done in families or in our relationships, basically always in close relations to other people, the reason this abuse is such an effective form of abuse is because that the narcissist creates two different worlds. They create one world, the world for people to see, and then they create the abusive world for them and the victim. So that is why narcissists are so good at what they are doing, why they are so successful, if you want to call it that, at what they are doing. It is because people around the narcissist do not suspect the person to be abusive, and this is always the case with abusive people. Usually they are able to masquerade as something they are not, and this goes for all kinds of abuse. Child molesters, all these kinds of abusive people follow the same pattern. Usually they want to build up a facade which is larger than life, which is better than other people. Usually they want to come across as a very caring, very sacrificing, self-sacrificing, very righteous person. And that should always be a warning sign to people. And this warning is given from me, because from what I have seen in my life is that usually the people that want to come across as the most caring, the most compassionate people is not what they think they are, and they are not the way in real life. This is usually a build-up by a person that has different intentions. And this is also important to remember, because why would a person care so much about what other people think of them? Narcissists care a lot about what other people think of them. And you will often see this, especially in narcissistic families, that the narcissist will work so hard 24/7 at creating opinions about themselves in other people. So they will basically put in stocks into people around them that they want to fool, and then they will be a different person to the people they pick out to abuse. And this is also the reason why they do this. This is a very big part of the reason why they do this, because they know that they are abusive people. So to be able to get away with the abuse, they need a mask. They need basically something to protect themselves. And if they can point to other people and say, well, this person doesn't think I am that way, that person doesn't think I am that way, it is only you that think I am this way, that will also further isolate the victim, isolate the target that they have targeted for abuse. Because when the target feels and basically knows that it's only me, I'm the only one that knows this, I'm the only one that see what this person is truly about, I'm the only person that will be able to support what I am saying. So if you plan to disclose something about the narcissist, there is very few people usually that will support you in your views, because the other people that the narcissist interferes with or come across will not see what you have seen. So this is the magnitude of the evil. This is how evil people work, and this is what so few people understand. And that's why it is no reason to go or even think about therapy with a narcissist, because a narcissist will never disclose who they are. And at some levels, I do also believe that some narcissists do not really know. They do not really know how bad they are, because in some cases, and I'm not saying this goes for everyone, but in some cases I do believe narcissists are so fractured people that they actually believe in the lie they have created about themselves, that they are a righteous person, that they are a person that cannot do anything wrong. But that is not humanly possible, right? So to get an outlet for all their dark desires, they pick one person in their life to mistreat, and they mistreat, or they focus 100% of all their mistreatment on this one person. So in the narcissist mind, I do believe that they don't think that this is really that bad, because they are nice people to 98% of the people they meet. It's only the 2% that they really wreak havoc on, that they truly want to destroy. But those 2% will be abused severely, and usually this is children or their spouse. So this is why it is so difficult for victims of narcissistic abuse, or people that have been narcissistically abused. I know a lot of people don't want to be called victims, but still, if you were a child of narcissistic abuse, you were a victim in that sense. But either way, this is what creates such a confusion and distortion in the victim as well, in the person that has been targeted, because they feel like there is nobody in this world that's going to believe me. Nobody's going to believe me. And even though you might know that there are more people in the narcissist life that is mistreated by the narcissist, the narcissist keeps such a check on people, and they're so controlling that people will rarely ever interact. They will never be able to share stories, compare their stories. So even though you know that there is somebody else that the narcissist is abusing them, might be their spouse, and you might be a child of that, but you're going to have different perceptions of the abuse. So a child is not going to feel the same as the spouse, for instance, because you are a child and you feel automatically more helpless than an adult person would do, even though it is a horrific situation to be a spouse of a narcissist with a child as well. I'm not saying that it isn't, but a child will always feel more helpless, have fewer outlets, be more easily controlled, and therefore also more abused by a narcissist. So this is the key things to look for if you are wondering about if you are narcissistically abused, because a lot of people do. They don't know if they are dealing with a narcissist, and you shouldn't really care about if it is a narcissist or not either. The most important thing to know is that if something is not right with that person, if you feel abused by that person, you should leave their vicinity. But again, this is not always the case. Not all people can do this. If you're a child, you can't do this. So if you go back and you might come across all these different videos on YouTube and trying to find out what happened to you. Were I indeed subjugated to narcissistic abuse? What you should look for is the big gap between who the narcissist presents themselves to be and what they truly were to you. Because the narcissist will not be the same person to every person they interact with. A lot of people use that as their compass, so to speak, to figure out if the person they were involved with was a narcissist. And that's why a lot of people use so much time on this, and they will never find clear answers, because when they go back and they see that, for instance, their mom or their dad were such a great person to other people, but to them they were horrible. And that's what you should go by, how they were with you. Doesn't matter if these people were thought of as pillars of the community they were living in, or great neighbors, or fantastic friends. Doesn't matter if they were abusive to you. That's your reality. That's what you should go by. Doesn't matter what they did to other people. So that's my advice in this video, because a lot of people are struggling to figure out if they indeed were children of a narcissistic parent or narcissistic parents. And because of this big gap between the reality the narcissist creates outside of the family and the reality that is within the family. So, like I said, it doesn't matter. You go with your own reality. Your own experience is what matters. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you for listening in and have a good day.